Mari, aka Kayakura, and welcome to the Wise Arts Cultivation in the Halloween Town this time. So for this video, it's gonna be it's gonna be different than like the normal videos because I'm just gonna really be like venting. Like recently, I've been grieving a lot. I've been grieving a lot over there's a lot of like past circumstances like regarding like females and stuff, and just like memories with like past friends and stuff. And it's like I know I really shouldn't really be in this cycle of grieving, you know what I mean? Because it's like if you always are grieving or like wanting something, then you stay in that cycle of wanting something for like more and more and more and more and more time. It's basically hell. That's what that's the concept of samsara that the Buddhists basically talk about. Is just if you're desiring something or wanting something, right? Uh and you just like get in that cycle, right? It just becomes hell, and it's just like, damn, like I don't know. I be feeling like I'm in hell a lot though. I'm not even gonna cap. Like I be trying to like uplift myself. It's just like, cause like the space where I came from before I was born, right? I came from like a very, I don't know. I feel like I came from a place of compassion where it was like very like I don't know. It was like yin. You feel me? And it's just like it's just I really like I feel like I have like fear intimacy or some shit like that. I don't know, some weird shit with me. It's some weird shit, and I be grieving that shit heavy. Like I be grieving shit I never had. You know what I mean? I be grieving ideas. Like that's really something I gotta get past. Like that's something I'm trying to learn to get past right now. Is really like to stop holding on to ideas and stuff and grieving over ideas and shit and like let ideas die. Cause like people die every day, you know what I mean? Like Nagas die every day. You know what I mean? You can't stop the death of a person, but then you get to a point where you think you can stop the death of a thought. But a thought is just a higher level of a body. So why would you even think that you could stop the death of a thought? You know what I mean? And I be really just like fucking myself up over this because especially like with me trying to do like music and like art and shit, sometimes I'll get an idea for some shit, and if I don't enact that idea out and I lose that idea, I'll be so fucking depressed. Even with this YouTube shit, bro. If I lose an idea with like to do a video, I get so fucking depressed. And I'm like it's not even depressed, it's more of like a perfectionist, like letting myself down type of energy. Whereas it's like I feel like I could have done better if I had that idea, but it's like we give birth to new ideas all the time. So there's always going to be a good idea in the future coming from you. You know what I mean? If you had good ideas in the past, you can surely make that shit happen again. And I just be forgetting that a lot of the time, and I get stuck on certain ideas. This tea is so hot. But like, also, like I don't know, in the past, like I had like physical representations of like patients basically telling me that I can't get lost on the thought. You feel me? And it's just like it's weird, like because one thing that you'll learn throughout like living life, right, is everything is reversed. And then saying that a lot of the times, like us humans or us that are in human like vessels at this time, like we get confused because we think that what we see with our physical eyes is the prize. But it's really the opposite of the way around, where your third eye or whatever, your I like to call it your other eye. Your other eye is really peering into the depth of the situation, into what you actually need, and really like um retrieving the wisdom out of things, right? But your these two eyes really only they only serve to like basically they kind of like fake. They kind of like the button eyes in Coraline. You feel me? Like following these two eyes, you basically sewing button eyes in your head, and you be trapped for eternity in a fake world. You know, just because you chose that. You know, but it's just like I don't know. It's just weird because like everything is reversed. Everything is reversed down here. You know what I mean? So when you really like following your path, like you're gonna seem like you're reverse to the people that's around you. But then in order to even like ground some shit into reality, you have to go with the flow of this world also. So it's like you gotta have to learn how to balance the yin and the yang situation. You know what I mean? You gotta learn how to balance all that, like, cause you can't, like, I don't know, bruh. Like, you can't go all the way into your yin, or you can't go all the way into your yang. Cause I've been in my yin for a lot, you know. Like, I'm like a yin creature type of shit. Like, I'm really yin. So I be hanging out in the yin realm for way too long, and then the yang, I forget how to interact with the yang realm. Should just be like foreign to me, and that also goes into the grieving shit because I be grieving emotions too because I used to be really depressed, and like when I was depressed, like I used to feel like emotions very deeply, and I always crave like deep emotional satisfaction. So like a big challenge for me was learning how to like take that and like transfer that into something else so I could get like that emotional satisfaction in like a different area. But like sometimes I just be wanting to be sad. I don't know. It's just weird because it's like I don't want situations that make me sad, but I do at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that goes back to me wanting stuff. Like, if you want stuff, you're gonna be sad because of the desire. It's gonna cause pain because of the desire, and you really want that desire and you can't get it. So you're always in a state of wanting, chasing. Even if you say, fuck that desire and just feel like you already have it, regardless of the reality, then and then you actually work towards it in reality, since your mindset has changed, it's like completely like different. It's reversed basically. And there was something I was thinking of. Oh yeah, like it's like I'm on a break. I'm a senior in high school right now, and I'm on a break, and it's like it's really good for me because like I fucking hate school. Like I'm not even gonna cap. Like I don't like school at all because I'm already on my path. Like I was talking to some of my peers and like they was basically like my classmates, I don't know, they not on the same level as me, you feel me? So they was telling me they basically told me it was like an echo chamber, and they was telling me like how they don't like school, but they appreciate it only because it gives their life order. But it's like I'm literally like trying to build my own order for myself. And that's what people don't understand. Like it's so hard telling somebody that I'm trying to build order for myself when I'm still in school because people expect you to still be on that level of like being like very childish. But it's like I'm still childish, but it's like I recognize that and I know how to change it. You know what I mean? I know what direction to go in to do that shit because I already done did that shit. You know what I mean? I already done gained structure for myself. Like when the country went on fucking lockdown and we was out of school, that shit was fucking lit because I was figuring out how to make structure for myself and I actually did it. And then when school came back around, that shit fucked up my spirituality. Like, and that's another reason why I don't like school because I mean it's certain classes like, for example, like my graphic arts class is helping me like with making cover art for myself. That's something I always wanted to do was learn how to actually like make the cover art on the computer instead of just like editing images together and shit, which I did for the majority of the time, you know. But like that's actually like a cool class. And I like that class. And I had psychology last year. I actually like that class too. I fuck with psychology though. Cause like I'm a healer type of person, so I like to like know like the behind like the traumas and shit. Like so I can heal myself and heal others with that information. That's part of the reason we starting this YouTube channel, you feel me? But it's like but for the most part, like school don't really be helping me with my spiritual path. So it's just like I can't like I appreciate it for what it does for other people, but I don't appreciate it for what it does for me. You know what I mean? Because for me, it just irritates me. Because I don't need to learn fucking calculus, bruh. Real shit, all I really need to learn is like fucking geometry and algebra. It's really all I'm finna fucking use. Like, I already know numerology. Like, that's sacred, like, math type shit. You know what I mean? So that's really like masonry. Like I'm learning how to make talismans right now, type shit. So I can actually build, like, so that can help me with my emotions and shit, right? Like a talisman or like a seal type of thing is meant to entrap like a certain emotion. So you see that, and then it triggers something in your brain where you go, oh, this is how to feel like this. So like when you're doing like a talisman, right? You can map out like certain sections. I'm not gonna show how I do it yet because I'm gonna like solidify that. I might not ever show it. I don't even know when the logistics of like showing people how I make talismans is. I just figured that out later in life. But it's like when you're making like a talisman, right? Like you map shit out. Like you map out where in like your mind like certain places are, so you can go to that place, right? It's kind of like astral travel or whatever, like astral projection kind of. So you can go to that place, and then um like when you go to that place, you'll always have that place basically, and you could just go there. Say if like for example, this might not make sense, okay, what I was just saying, but I'm gonna break it down into like more simple terms, right? Say if you really like say if you really like the park, right? Draw a talisman of like a tree, or draw a picture of like a tree or something that represents the park, right? And then that can be like one point, and then another point, um, the grass or like the actual structure of the park or however the park is, different aspects of the park, and then how that park makes you feel. Like, do you get clarity from being in that park? Do you get like, you feel excited? And then once you start to entrap all that energy in there, then you're making a talisman. Now every time you see that, you can be reminded of the park. So you're going through like a hard situation, just you see that talisman. Now you're reminded of the park and how the park makes you feel. Now you basically can take your soul out your situation and then put it into a different situation, so you can basically manipulate your current situation to make it more favorable for you. I didn't even mean for this to turn into like a very like wise video. I was just trying to vent. But I guess wise words spill off my tongue like it's visceral, I guess. That's some lyrics for me, but that's really all I had to talk about.